to, or understand what the circuit clerk even does. You're not alone.
Well,
so we have one of our PTDO members is the circuit clerk for Will County, and she's done it for 4 years, and
Andrea.
she's running again with no.
Yeah.
So I do know what it does. It's just the two got conflated in my brain.
Yeah.
Well, so you're right, though. A lot of people need to. How people don't know what either one of them do.
People don't know what their county board does. They don't know what their mayor's function is. They don't really know what their school board's function is. And part of the reason we do this is to help people understand that. And I could have texted it wrong to her, messaged it wrong to her, because sometimes I just fly through what I'm going to send her and hit send.
Or you do voice to text and it comes
out. Oh my gosh.
We're all good.
My talk to text is infamously bad. So
I get it. A lot of, and I'll claim, confess to not knowing a whole lot about the local office before I got involved either. Right when I got elected to the trustee's office for the village of Oswego, I would get people, saying you got to push for Medicare for all, and I'm like, I'm a trustee for Oswego. That's federal. Go talk to your congressman about that. And it's not that I disagree with you. I'm fully on board. It's just not something that I have purview over as a trustee.
I would get that all the time when because I ran for the Illinois State Senate, and people would say, well, what are you going to do about Medicare for all or single payer? And I'd say, I can't do anything. The best I can do is work for a system where we can do a public option in Illinois, and Illinois doesn't have the money to do public option right now.
Right.
If we hadn't had the pandemic, I think with the I hate gambling expansion, but the fact that we did that and the pot sales, we were set. You could see it, like in 10 years we would be debt free and in a really good place, and then with fair tax, and then it's like, oh my god, the wheels came off the bus. So but people would say, what are you going to do? I'm like, that's a federal issue. I'm running for a state position. So but I'm not Dick Durbin. I couldn't play him on TV, and I'm way taller than him, so we love Dick, but he's
Oh, Dick's amazing.
He's great. So anyway, but him and Tammy are just, wow, we have great senators. So
yes, we do.
Yeah.
Right, so are we ready?
I'm ready. So Murr, if I'm recording the go ahead and count us down, and you start us, okay?
I will count us down verbally. Start with 3 and 1, take a breath, and that is when we'll begin recording. All right, are you guys ready?
I'm ready. You ready, Ryan?
I'm ready.
Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey everyone, welcome back to Heartland Mamas. I'm Marie Briel.
And I'm Heidi Henry, coming to you from 3 separate studios at the edge of the Great Red Divide. And Murray, today we're going to talk about a local candidate in rural Kendall County, Illinois. We're talking to Ryan Kaufman, who's running for the Circuit Clerk of the Courts. And as you know, Marie, that's a state constitutional officer of the court. So they assist the circuit court judge. They're the subpoena guy. They also handle fines and fees. They don't work necessarily for the county, but they work within the county, and it is a locally elected position. And a lot of people don't know what that clerk does, but they keep all the paperwork and records straight. So whenever you need to find something that's happened in the past, this is the guy that manages and makes sure that those records are kept correctly, and that's such an important job. So, Murray, do you want to go ahead and introduce him or throw to him?
Absolutely. So, Ryan, we are excited to have you. Could you please tell us just a little bit about your background and what was it about this particular position that made you decide to think you were a good fit?
Yeah, so I'll tell you my background real quick. I work for a bank. I have an MBA with a specialization in finance. My undergraduate degrees are in finance and economics, and I work as a senior consultant for a local bank. Previously, I was a trustee for the village of Oswego for 4 years, and before that, I was a police commissioner for the village of Oswego, which really piqued my interest in law and order and the efficient processing of our legal system. So I've got a passion for for public service, of course, and I'm a longtime resident of Kendall County, so I'm really vested in the outcome of our community, of our people.
Mm-hmm.
So my wife is a teacher. I work for a bank, like I said, and we've lived here for about 10 years. Both of us grew up in Illinois. I grew up in Naperville. She grew up in Lisle. We have 2 kids, 3 and 5. So I'm in the depths of the toddler craziness. So when I'm not at work or serving the public, I'm usually trying to get pants onto my kids, which is a battle that I frequently lose.
That's a battle that will never stop. I have an 11-year-old. And we have 3 boys, 17, 15, and 11. And one rule we never in a million years would have ever thought we would have to tell our children was you have to have pants on at the dinner table. Well, pants have results into underwear. So he has only been dressed maybe 3 times since the pandemic started. I totally get it. Putting pants on a kid will forever be a challenge.
I've noticed.
I have to say, back when I lived in Oswego, my son, who's in his 30s now, used to be referred to as Naked Boy because I would dress him every day, and he would just be running around the farm naked all the time. I'd be like, Christian, where are your clothes? Sorry, bud, I know you listen, so but I'm outing you. So, Ryan, you've got a good history of public service, and this is a big step. This is a big jump up from trustee and the other things you've done to a higher profile and really a much more intense job. Are you going to be doing this full-time or part-time? I don't know how it works in Kendall County.
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a full-time position. So,
okay.
Like you mentioned, the trustee role was very much part-time. I did that while I've been working. I tend to put in about 60-ish hours at the office for the bank, and I imagine that would continue, 60 plus hours at the Circuit Clerk's office if I'm elected.
That's wonderful. That type of dedication is really good, and that probably means that you're planning on pushing back from your job at the bank once you're elected. Now, is this seat held currently by somebody, or do you have an opponent coming up in the upcoming?
So the current Circuit Clerk is Robin Ingemanson. Okay. She's a Republican, and she has decided not to seek re-election. So it is an open seat.
Okay.
I do have an opponent. His name is Matt Prochaska, and he's the Republican candidate, and I'm the Democratic candidate. And I think I bring a lot more to the table. I've got a lot more time in public service, and I feel like I'm a lot more dedicated to a positive outcome for the community. And my skill set with the bank in terms of tech and my background in technology and creating more efficient processes, I think it'll be a big help in the Circuit Clerk's office.
Well, I know that they're ready to do some computer and software upgrades over there, have been in the process of, so that would be a really good, you'd be a really great fit there in helping them bring it forward. Because Kendall's had just an amazing amount of growth over the last 15, 20 years. When I lived out there 30 years ago, it was very, very rural. And now I go out there in places I used to ride my horses in are, big subdivisions. A lot more people means a lot more work for you.
Absolutely.
So it sounds like you're an excellent fit for that job. So, I did want to say, I know your opponent. Murray and I do some research before we talk to people, and he sounds like he's got, some issues that I don't think are a good fit for the level of trust that needs to go into the office that you're running in. We don't really like to trash other people, but I think people ought to look up and see, he did something very public. That was caught on tape, and I think people need to understand that desecration of any sort, even verbal, of somebody who's passed away is really disgusting and really unfortunate. So, but that's all I'm going to say about that, because Murray and I try to steer away from that unless we're trashing the Orange Caligula in Washington.
I have a question. You mentioned your background in technology, and I was really curious as to, have you looked into systems yet? and what those systems might encompass that would make record accessing so much easier for the people of Kendall County?
Oh, that's a great question, Murray.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no question that the computer systems in the circuit clerk's office need to be overhauled. That's one of the things that I'd like to accomplish in my first term as circuit clerk.
Mm-hmm.
But in addition to the core computer systems, there's a lot of ideas that I proposed that I think could make the office more streamlined, more efficient, more transparent. For instance, I'd like to build an Alexa app.
Oh, wow.
That residents can use to communicate with the circuit clerk's office or ask
Mm-hmm.
questions to Alexa to have their get any information that they like. For instance, if you're vision impaired, blind, you can't simply sit down at a laptop or a computer and Google something, right?
Right.
So, but what you can do is ask Alexa or ask Siri or ask Google, hey, what are the circuit clerk's hours? What's their address?
Mm-hmm.
What's their phone number? How do I file a FOIA request? How do I find out about my jury duty? So, implementing an artificial intelligence for the circuit clerk's office is one way to go about doing that. So that's one idea. Another would be to build artificially intelligent chatbots that you could access via text message on your phone,
Sure.
or via the website, and that would be another channel that people could use to find out how do I file a FOIA, where's my jury duty, when's my court date, a lot of other things that I think that you could automate and not have people sit on the phone and try to get a hold of a person at the circuit clerk's office. That benefits not only residents but attorneys, as well as the staff at the circuit clerk's office, because I can imagine how many times a day must someone answer the phone at the circuit clerk's office and say, circuit clerk's office, 8 a.m. to 5:30, Monday through Friday, have a nice day.
Right.
Circuit clerk's office, Monday through Friday, repeat that process over and over again. So I think that's one of those things that can be automated away.
Yeah, and that frees people up to do other, I shouldn't say more important jobs, because certainly interacting with the public is important, but whenever you have to stop what you're doing to answer the phone to give that same simple answer over and over again, it keeps you from finishing your tasks that have to be done before the end of the day. So that's a really nice way to help streamline things and help make it easier, more user friendly. So that's great.
One of the things I really want to accomplish is eliminating the need to wait on hold at all. I just don't. I think with the technology that exists in 2020, the idea of waiting on hold is kind of a thing, or should be a thing of the past.
Okay. Are there any budgetary concerns in your office right now with, COVID has changed our financial profile here in my county, in LaSalle County. Are you aware of any financial concerns in your office upcoming, or can you speak to that at all, or are you guys pretty solvent there?
So, I'm not in the circuit clerk's office right now.
So you don't know the budget, yeah.
So I'm familiar with the budget, and I know there's always budgetary constraints, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that will forever be an issue.
Right.
But the circuit clerk's office at the moment is all right. But the thing that's going to put an enormous amount of strain on the budget is overhauling the computer systems. So that is something that needs to be managed very, very well, because I know that those projects, those types of capital intense projects, tend to have enormous cost overruns. So unless you have someone like myself, who's very familiar with implementing and overseeing large scale capital projects, those costs can run way over very quickly and very easily. So you need someone watching it like a hawk.
Right. Well, and cost overruns kill you, in a county budget, in any budget. So keeping that in mind, and when you are familiar with technology as you are, and have a good education, a good amount of knowledge on that subject, it keeps you from making those mistakes, because I know we've watched our county, LaSalle County, got hacked this year, and it cost us a fortune to fix that we didn't have. But it's those little things that you can't always control and that you don't always plan for in an antiquated system like we have. So doing those upgrades will help with cybersecurity also at your end, I'm sure. So
absolutely, cybersecurity is an enormous issue. I'm thinking back to 2016 when the state of Illinois got hacked by Russian hackers. That was the state election board.
My son got dropped from the voter rolls. So
it's honestly incredible. The type of attack that the Russian attackers used is something called a SQL injection attack, which a SQL injection attack is 25, 30 years old. It's a really, really old form of attack. And the fact that the state of Illinois wasn't prepared for an ancient type of attack is a little embarrassing. So those are things we need to look out for. Things that the obvious attacks, the SQL injection, the DDoS attacks. Those types of things we should, be able to guard against very, very quickly, very easily.
What I find really impressive, Ryan, I find your background, like Heidi was just saying, not just within the financial sector, but within capital projects and technology, understanding how to utilize that in the interest of the people. I think right now we're really at a precipice of using technology for the good, explaining about technology. I think there's sort of this science fiction fear that comes about with automation of things. And I think the way that you're addressing it and going about it is not only logical and sensible, but it's also educational. I find that really, really refreshing.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Having a pragmatic approach to things really does help things become a lot better, well-rounded and more transparent. So I love those ideas. So Ryan, right now what we'd like you to do is tell people how they can learn more about your candidacy, how they can support you in this race, because this is really important. Kendall County is an evolving demographic, and as they become larger and more urban, and they were very rural 30 years ago when I lived there, but they are becoming more of an suburban area. It takes a different type of thought process to build out towards the future. And I'm always big about, let's build toward a future so that we're not playing catch up all the time or on defense all the time. Let's move forward. So it sounds like you've got some really great plans that will help Kendall.
Where can people read these great plans?
Yeah, where can they read about you? Where can they support you at?
So, anyone can go check out my website, www.kaufmanforcircuitclerk.com. I've laid out all of my ideas, contact information. People can go to my Facebook page, Kaufman for Circuit Clerk on Facebook, and read any of the ideas that I propose there, or reach out to me. I'm very accessible. My email is kaufmanforcircuitclerk@gmail.com if anyone wants to reach out to me, or if anyone wants to call me. My phone number at the campaign office is 630-381-5557. And something I'd add on to that is that if anyone wants to play around with or message the chat bot right now, you don't have to wait till I'm elected to see it. You can message the bot right now. The bot that I'm affectionately referring to as Circuit, short for Circuit Clerk. You can message Circuit right now at 630-381-5557, and just send a text message to Circuit that says hi or hey or hello, and you'll get a message back.
I love that.
You can talk to the bot now.
Ryan, that is fantastic. You're not only utilizing the technology, or you're not only planning the technology, but you're utilizing it now to show people what it can do. It's genius. I'm so impressed. We need to get Ryan elected. Everybody, get out your phones.
Thanks, I do appreciate it.
This is something that's an important position that we don't consider as being important in the midst of policy and rioting. This is stuff that we really need to take care of at our local level. And Heidi and I've talked about this many times.
Right.
Ryan is a great candidate who really exhibits what we need in this role. So I'm impressed. Thanks, Ryan.
Ryan,
yeah,
thank you
absolutely.
so much for coming on today, and I love your forward-thinking attitude, and I love that you're showcasing what you can do when you're elected this November 3rd. I realize that you probably don't have a lot of events coming up, but would you do us a favor and let us know if you have fundraising events or speaking events coming up? I know with COVID, we don't really know what we're doing. But I'm sure you address things. I've seen your Facebook page, so you're always on top of things, talking about what's going on, and your social media is really sharp that way. And that's good. That high touch social media is a wonderful hallmark of a candidate. When Murray and I were running, we were too busy knocking doors, talking to people face to face. I could not keep up with social media. I finally turned it over to my daughter to do for me.
Right.
Don't turn it over to your kids. Yours are too little.
Right.
We sincerely. Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to mention before I forget that if anyone wants to see the stats on COVID-19 in Kendall County, I built a Twitter bot that tweets out the stats of Kendall County, the number of cases, the number of deaths, and number of recoveries. And the bot tweets every day of the week, as well as some additional tips that you can take to keep your family safe.
That's
and
amazing.
on Twitter, that is Kendall COVID-19.
Ryan needs to be elected, folks. Yep, no joke.
Yeah, really smart guy.
So, folks, as we progress forward in his election, be sure to be in tune with the Heartland Mamas. Like, subscribe, share. Check us out anywhere you get your favorite.
One last thought, I do have a fundraiser coming up.
Oh, you do?
on
Great.
May 8th. Yeah, it's via Zoom, and if anyone is interested, you can see the details on my website at www.kaufmanforcircuitclerk.com/events.
Wonderful. That's so exciting. I've gone to a few of the Zoom fundraisers, and I've enjoyed them, even though I'm a very social person when we go out and talk to people. But the Zoom events have been really good and so creative in this weird pandemic time we're having.
Yeah.
But so everybody, if you want to find out more about Ryan, we will put some links on our Facebook page and on our Twitter. You can also find us at heartlandmamas.com for more information, and we will have links to Ryan's site there. So thanks
and
again.
Be sure to follow us as we follow Ryan.
Yeah.
Again, Heartland Mamas, MAMAS.com, and on Demcast USA, proud partner.
Take care now, everybody. Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
So Marie will take us off the stream now, and so we'll get. Are you still going?
I finished it. It's
okay.
done.
Okay. So Ryan, thank you so much for your time today. I sure appreciate it. And man,
if you're not doing anything, come out to Plainfield to protest Black Lives Matter
today.
2 o'clock. It's a group of teenagers. My son is really active, and he's a part of the Illinois School Democrats, and some of his friends are like, this is really important, and put together a protest today. There's going to be a ton of people and electeds there, hopefully.
Wearing masks.
So 2 o'clock. Route 59 in Caton Farm and Joliet from 2 to 4:30. Want to stop by. Masks.
So, but yeah, masks, and Heidi's got farm work to do, so she won't be going. But
I'm going.
So Murray's going to go and do that. And anyway, but Ryan, it was great talking to you. And I just want to put this in your head. I can't stand your state senator or your state representative, because I think you have Wheeler there, right? Do you have Wheeler? Or
no, I've got Stephanie Kifowit.
Oh, well, no, don't run against Stephanie. We love Stephanie. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's my favorite representative, and she's not my representative. She's wonderful.
And our state senator here is
Oprah Weiss.
I think it's Jennifer Bertino-Saran.
Oh, you're in Jennifer's? Okay, so she stepped.
Is it Jennifer? It's either Jennifer or Linda Holmes.
I think you're Linda Holmes.
I think
Linda Holmes. Okay,
probably
so
right.
you're okay.
You're Linda Holmes.
Yeah.
No, we've got great representation.
Yeah, you do.
Stephanie. I love Linda.
Oh my gosh!
We're
See.
good.
I thought you were in the part where my sister has Oberweis and Wheeler, where she lives in Kendall County, and every time she needs something, and I'm like, you're supposed to call your state senator for that. You're supposed to call your state rep for that. Never calls her back, and she's pretty apolitical. So, she did work on preserving the old courthouse there that's up on the hill in Yorkville, and she'd need to talk to him, and they'd just blow her off. I'm like, I don't know, Lisa. I said, you need to find somebody to run. And I thought maybe we could put Ryan Kaufman up there in the future, but I guess not. So
I've got, we've got great.
Oh yeah, you really do. You really do.
I'm really happy with, with our reps and with our senators.
Yeah, and you're in the 14th with Lauren Underwood.
With Lauren.
Oh, you're like in the
Love Lauren.
Yeah, Lauren and I
You're
did.
kind of in like the good zone.
You are.
Funny.
I'm jealous.
We really are. We're fortunate here.
That's
I've been really fortunate to have Lauren endorse me too. So that's.
We should have talked about that because everybody loves Lauren. Yeah, she's so wonderful. But I know you have your endorsements up there. You've got a ton of them up on your page. So anyway, but yeah, great candidate to talk to, and I'm so excited
we will
for
talk
the
to you
future.
again as your race progresses.
Yeah.
Sure, absolutely. I'll be back on whenever.
Okay.
Happy to.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Ryan.
See you later, Ryan.
Make some signs. Have a good day, everyone.
Take care. Bye, everybody.
All right.
Bye.
See you guys.